The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Welcome to the Support Local Everything podcast, a podcast of the Upward Niagara Chamber of Commerce. I'm Chamber President Jennifer Pauley, and we had a busy weekend this past weekend in the region. Everything from Old Fort Niagara had a great event, to the Sanborn Farm Festival, to the free BPO concert at Academy Park, along with the Niagara Food and Wine Festival. It was a full weekend. I, unfortunately, was away. Fortunately, I should say. I was in Richmond, Virginia for my daughter's swim meet. It was the USA Swimming Futures swim meet, one of 4 or 5 around the country. And she and her teammate made qualified times to get to that swim meet, so it was exciting. I have to give a shout out to Ava. She made a personal best time in her 100 free, not even her main event. So it was a great weekend. But of course, I have a case of the Mondays. I got back late last night, Sunday evening, and I was just telling Rich and Michael here that, you get home and you hope the house is how you leave it. It's not the case with daughters. With 3 daughters home, far from it, but that's okay. We're back here on a Monday recording. You'll hear this a little bit later in the week. We had a new member luncheon this past Friday, and I have to tell you, Friday is the day to do a new member luncheon. It was full of new members. There were probably 10, 12 people there around the table having a great time, and we thank the Brickyard for hosting us for that. We do those once a quarter, so if you're a new member and you haven't been able to attend one yet, let us know. We'll put you on the schedule for the next one. We also have coming up this week EJS Great Lakes Dive Solutions. Ed Stefik is a certified diver, and he has a business based around collecting things in the river or lake or pond, wherever there's water, things that you may have lost or dropped. Just recently, he recovered a $6,000 diamond bracelet near Rochester. So he's got a great business plan there. He's worked through the small business development office to really get his marketing plan going and get the business off the ground. He's a new member, just joined the past couple months, and so happy to celebrate him. We're going to do a unique ribbon cutting for him. I'm not sure how it's really going to play out yet, but it involves a mermaid costume, not with me, and Ed in full scuba diving gear in the Niagara River. So we'll see how that pans out. Not quite sure, but always a good time with Ed Stefik if you know him. Well, our guest today is Michael Ragusa with VisionFinancialGroup, and Michael's been a guest before, and now we're on a new set. So last time was it earlier this year we had you on?
No, it was last year. Yeah, it was last year, and we were at the other location, this location's fantastic.
Yes, we gave Michael a quick little 5-second tour of the new location. We're so happy to have you back. So Michael is with Vision Financial Group. It's with an innovative investment professional. Michael helps companies grow in multiple capacities through his own proficiencies in cultivating loyal client relationships, providing customized financial advisory services, and sharing expertise in business development strategies. So hopefully that was
a bit of a mouthful, but yes, that is correct. That's what we do.
That gives us the overview of what you do, and
Sure.
You've got a lot of great things coming up. So
we do.
Tell us what you've been working on lately.
So one of the big things that we have, Jennifer, is we're going to be holding an event at Griffin on September 19th. So it's a Thursday in the early evening. We'll likely be on the second floor. I'm still working out all the fine details with Caitlin down there. It's been fantastic. But we're looking forward to that because when we hosted, or rather sponsored, the blender at Griffin and Youngstown in April, I know I was speaking with many of our members, and we were talking about a lot of the changes that are going to be coming to fruition on January 1st of 25 via the Secure Act 2.0. Right. So what I found in that was that many of our members had no idea that these changes were right around the corner, number one, and number two, that would directly impact them. So I think at that point I said, you know what, I think it's a really good idea to probably have an event where folks, certainly our membership, can come down and learn about how this will impact their business, how it will affect their business, and what they need to do to kind of be just on the up and up with respect to, hey, these regulations are changing. They will be enforced. How do I make sure that I'm compliant with respect to the new law? And that's kind of where my team and I come in. So we're going to be doing a whole event with that. We're going to have some food. We're going to have some craft beer, some wine down there. We're going to go over a bit of information and make sure that everybody understands, where they need to be, as I said, and then how we can help them get there, which I think is important. We still take care of all of our other business with our corporate clients, including all of our business succession planning, our buy-sell agreements, our employee benefits, all that kind of stuff, and then general investing as well. So happy to be able to be here to do that and talk about it. Fire away with any questions you have for me.
Well, some of the things that small businesses have to deal with are employees, or their taxes, or just day-to-day operations.
Sure.
The regulations that are coming about, these are not things that are top of mind.
No.
Why would you think about some of these things? They're just not top of mind, or they're not readily accessible, and that's where a member like you comes in,
right,
to let businesses know here are things on the table that are going to come into effect in 2025, which is right around the corner, less than 6 months away.
Yeah.
Is your business prepared? So what are some of those parts of the Secure Act 2.0? Give us an overview of something. Sure. As a small business owner, what are some things that I might not know?
One of the things that we're going to be talking about in depth is the fact that there aren't changes now to small businesses with respect to retirement plans for their company and for their employees. So I don't want to get too much in the detail. If I give too much away, then we'll have a lot of blank seats in September. But essentially, it's a change in that mandate, wherein companies now will actually have to have those retirement plans in place. Whereas before, if you were small enough, and we'll go over all the thresholds for that too, and what that means, and how to get a plan in place, how to get it established, how to have it up and running. I think the one thing that I can say is it is important to note that the plan that is now mandated for small businesses has to be in place by January 1st. So that's in place. That doesn't mean, well, I'm working with somebody, I got a hold of them on December 29th, and this plan is, we just started to, no, it's got to be in place January 1st, which is why we're going to try to do this in September, because that'll give us enough time to work with folks. Certainly, there are folks in our membership where this will be something that will affect them. It is not a process that is overly taxing. It's not overly burdensome. It's not anything that's going to impede too much on a business owner's day-to-day operations. We handle most of the heavy lifting, if not all of it. There's not too much that a business owner is going to have to be involved and roll up their sleeves, so to speak, to really do a ton of work. That's kind of where we come in. My team and I are positioned well to be able to do that. So we look forward to doing that. But that's kind of just one example of what's changing. There are probably, I would say, a good dozen other changes with respect to compliance, HR situations, new rules that are involving family leave, maternity leave, things like that, military exemptions. So we're going to kind of touch on a lot of that different stuff. Folks are going to have a lot of questions. We expect it. That's why we're here. We're eager to help, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, these are things that are not fun to think about, right?
No, they never are, but they have to be done anyway. These things are always, I always get one or two folks that'll question me, and I remember in April, after I had mentioned it to the group, I was stuck in some side conversations, and a lot of folks were saying, is this for real? I said, well, of course it's for real. I'm not going to get up there and say something that was certainly not for real, but they're definitely happening. They're definitely coming along the pike. But again, it's not anything that is overly stressful, overly taxing, or overly burdensome. It's something that we can take care of, that we need to take care of. They are not optional. These aren't situations where, yeah, you know what, I'll get to them when I get to it. Unfortunately, this is, from a federal level, from a state level, and it's not something that's going to be able to say, well, we can just let it go and it'll slide through the cracks. It's probably not going to be in the best interest of the business owner to do something like that. So we're looking forward to helping everybody.
Yeah, we're happy to have, you as a member, giving this overview September 19th for anybody to attend. It's really a great session to sit there, to learn about this, learn how to have a plan in place, find all the resources that are needed. Where do businesses usually get this information from? Not everybody's on top of this type of thing that comes through. Our chamber was aware of it, but we are not in the business of helping somebody come up with their retirement plan. That's where we find members like you to help connect and make this happen. How would a business just know this?
It's a really good question. Unfortunately, there's not too much promotion when they do sweeping changes in regulations like this. Even on a macro level, that being from the federal level, you don't see too much promotion of it. It's always, it's in the letter of the law. Well, that's great, but you have to get that word out. So when we kind of looked at it and saw a lot of the changes came gradually, right? So over the course of the past 5-6 years or so, but these ones that are coming to bear in 2025. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of promotion for it. There wasn't and so unless you were up and up on the changes in legislation, which most people aren't, because you have let's face it, we have day-to-day things, right? And if I'm a business owner, my mind is not on, gee, what did the U.S. Congress, what new laws did they enact?
What did they pass?
We totally understand that, right? So you're worried about, profit and loss, revenue. You're worried about, hey, this is not a secret. Inflation is here. So I think a lot of our businesses, a lot of our members are certainly struggling to how best navigate the waters on that. Where we come in is, look, I get it. You guys weren't reading this. That's our job. Our job is to make sure that we are up to date and we are, cognizant of everything that's coming down the road for our clients so that they don't have to worry about that, right? So that's one of the biggest points that I stress with my team is, guys, we're here to provide a service for our clients. That means that we have to provide the best that we possibly can. And that means it's our job to stay kind of up to date with everything so that the client doesn't have to. We bring it to their attention. And in this case, given that, being a member of the chamber in the capacity that I am, this can kind of affect, I would argue, maybe half of our membership. Right?
That's a huge number.
So to that extent, I would say that I can't just be up and up on things for only my clients and our team's clients and our practice. We have to be on the up and up for all of the folks with whom we interact, right? And that includes our chamber membership. So we're happy to do it. We look forward to it. We look forward to having a nice turnout. Again, it's something that I think is in the best interest for our members that will fall into the category where this is going to be in effect. And it's something that we're happy to help them, get on board with and make sure that they're all up and compliant and following the regs come January 1.
Sure. So we will have this information out in our newsletter and get that out to all of our members. What does this evening look like? Is it?
I think it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, so most everyone's going to go, okay, great. So what you want me to do? Presumably we're going to have decent weather. I mean, knock on wood, it's been great the past couple weeks here, but presumably we'll have decent weather on September 19th. And I know a lot of members are going to go, let me get this straight. You want me to come out to Griffin on the water on September 19th when the weather might be nice and sit there and listen to changing regulations? So I know that as enticing as that sounds, I thought I would kind of one-up it. This is not going to be a lecture. This is not going to be us just sitting up there and talking about it. It's in one respect, I guess, a little bit difficult to, I suppose, jazz up regulations. So we're not necessarily going to focus on that. We're going to mention what they are, but we're going to actually talk about how we can practically apply some of the ideas that we have to make sure that people are compliant. And like I said, we're going to have some food. We're going to have some great beer and wine. The view will be great. And it's going to be more of a question-answer period as opposed to, hey, I'm going to get up there, spit some bullet points out. You guys are going to want to probably break through the glass and hurl yourselves over the edge into the river. It's not going to be anything like that. I like to have fun with my clients. I like to make sure that I'm valuing their time, and we're putting it to best use, right? So they're going to get some great information out of it. They're going to be able to put themselves in a position, like I said, where they're not going to have any concerns. We're going to be there to help them every step of the way. And at the same time, we're hoping that we've provided value for their time. I think that we will. We usually do when we hold events like this, because we've done it on a host of other subjects as well. But this one, I think, is in the immediacy is one of the most important. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Is there a cost involved for a member
No.
to attend this?
Nope. There is no cost at all. Everything is complimentary. So come on out, learn what you got to learn, make sure that everything's on the up and up rather, and we'll have a great time.
We're so grateful for you as a member to be able to put on a program like this.
Thank you.
For other businesses, other members, it's very important. Plus, September 19th is a Thursday evening. You're going to make
Right.
it fun.
Of course.
A little bit of networking there so you can converse with some other businesses.
Absolutely.
And your team will be there. So tell us
Yes.
a little bit about your team. You had said you have, this great group of people working for these businesses, working to get this information, working to stay on top of all of this for
Sure.
them. Tell us a little bit about your team.
I couldn't do anything that I do without my team. They are invaluable to me. They are all absolutely phenomenal. I think when I said about trying to build a team that could be most effective, I look to, you can look at any team that there is in any walk of life, right? And you want to be able to have a team that complements one another, right? So if the Buffalo Bills had 11 Josh Allens, on the field all at once, they probably wouldn't get too far.
Right.
So in recognizing that, what we were able to do is bring in folks that were specialists in different areas. That way we have folks, so for instance, we have a gentleman who is an absolute genius with 401ks. We have another team member that we partner with, and she is brilliant with HR and benefits and knowing what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done. We have myself, and I have 20 years experience in doing this, working with holistic investing with my clients, as well as doing a lot of corporate work. We have a lot of folks that are specializing in buy-sell agreements, in business succession planning. We have folks that specialize in retirement planning. So the point is we've kind of left it so that we don't have a stone that's unturned. We don't have a base that's not covered, so that when our clients sit down with us, no matter what they can come up with, we have an answer for it, and we have the ability to provide a solution for them.
Right,
So
that's great.
I typically ask a lot of clients, Jennifer, hey, what is the thing that's keeping you up at night? Right? And as a business owner, I have yet to meet one who says, oh, nothing, everything's great. I'm like, okay, but for real, what is the one thing that is keeping you up at night? What is the thing that's at the forefront of your mind on a daily basis? Let's talk about that. And let's try to find a solution together about that, because it's different for everyone. And that's why I love it, which is why we're able to provide those custom tailored solutions. We don't do anything cookie cutter, because no one's the same. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's where our team fits in great. We have close to 20 members on the team now. So there's certainly no shortage of folks that we can utilize to help. And like I said, they're all specialists in one thing or another.
That makes everything a little bit more well-rounded. And
For sure.
just like you said, you're able to kind of holistically see things from all angles and have the best people working on that. Not only do you have this 20-year experience as an investment professional, but tell us a little bit more about your background, because it's more than just investment. Where'd you go to school, and what degree do you have? Because that's a huge thing here.
It is.
It helps provide a little bit more, with your experience.
I won't go too far back, but born and raised in Lewiston, went to Newport, then I went to Canisius College and had dual majors there, and then went on to law school at SUNY Buffalo School of Law. So I had my JD as well, and then got into this business, and I've been doing it, like I said, almost 20 years. The thing that I found that was of great value with that degree is being able to utilize it in this practice, and working with my team comes in handy in a lot of different situations, right? So it allows me to not only work with my clients in a little bit of a different capacity than other folks that are in this industry, but it also allows me to say, hey, look, whilst I can't probably come up with the drafts for you anymore because it's frowned upon by the state, what I can do is position you with folks that we partner with that are attorneys that can get this done, and then I can kind of help you ask the right questions when you're in front of that individual, so that you're saving time and thus cost to put you kind of in the best possible position that you can be in. So that's really come into play with a lot of different things. Again, it's come into play with estate planning. It's come into play with, again, our business planning, with our business successions with our folks. It's come into play in all different types of scenarios that I've worked with throughout my career. So just another little unique kind of flavor that our team brings that folks probably find refreshing because they don't see that too often in working with other teams in our industry.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you are somebody who grew up in Lewiston, and it's funny
Yes,
because people know you from all different areas of your life. From
Yes.
One of our members said, "Little Mikey." I'm like,
Yeah.
You can't call him that.
Well, yeah, it's great. It's home for me. It's always been home for me. Home is a funny word. A lot of people will say, "Well, where's home?" And if you're out in the world traveling, well, home is Buffalo. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Home has always been Lewiston, New York for me. I currently live in Wheatfield, but it's a short drive. Where, as you know, I'm in the village quite a bit.
Yes.
So we're happy to come back, certainly on weekends and many times during the week too for business. So we have a lot of clients in Lewiston. Certainly my involvement with the chamber and the different events that we have there. And I, as I said, when I got into this chamber, it was to try to help folks that are doing business in my hometown. And that was very important to me because I know there's a need for it. I know that there are sometimes our communities that our chamber kind of comprises are overlooked.
Yes.
By folks that are in Erie County, that are in some of the bigger areas. Well, why am I going to drive out to Wilson or Youngstown or Lewiston or Ransomville, Roy Hart? You go out there because people need help.
Right.
And so when I was approached by our chairman of the board of directors, who's a client and a good friend, and then I first met you, I said, well, this is exactly what I want to do because it needs to be done. And I'm happy to do it. So love coming back. Thank you so much.
Niagara County is a different animal.
It is.
Just is. The people are different. The business makeup is different. The population obviously is different, but it really is a different area. And you're right. Sometimes our businesses, in northern Niagara County specifically, are overlooked, and people think that we are so far away from, from Buffalo or, different areas, but we're not. And so we're happy to have you involved in that.
Thank you very much.
You are not only involved in our chamber, but you also help sponsor a lot of events around the area. The Northwest Jazz Festival is coming up at the end of the month, and we'll see you there. You're a sponsor of that, as well as a lot of other things. So we're so happy that you are very involved in the community.
I'm happy to be involved. Like I said, it's a pleasure for me to be involved. It's a matter that's personal to me and to my heart that I can help. Like I said, my hometown. Looking forward to being a sponsor this year at the Jazz Fest. You guys always do a phenomenal event, so I can't wait to see what we have set up for this year. We have Art Fest coming up that will be at that. I know we've sponsored several of the small business blenders that we have. Unfortunately, I was out of town for the Whirlpool Jet Boat one in Griffin, one that we had a couple weeks ago. So I regret missing that, but it couldn't have been helped. But I look forward to going to the one in the fall, hosting our event, and certainly sponsoring the annual dinner was it in December?
November. The end of this year is coming up so incredibly fast. We look at the calendar and August starts this week, which is so hard to fathom because I feel like we just celebrated, the end of the school year for my kids, and we're beginning of August this week.
I know. It's wild. I think 4th of July was like 5 minutes ago. It's almost a month old already, so I don't know where July went. But so looking forward to really, like I said, continuing on our being an active role within the chamber, and exploring other opportunities with the chamber going forward.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. Can you share anything else about Vision Financial Group that maybe our listenership doesn't know? Anything else that you can let people know about that you offer? Some people might not realize all of the scope of things that are offered through your service.
It's a great question. Yeah, we're a recently merged firm. We're a Mass Mutual agency, so I think everybody knows, Mass Mutual. We've been around for about a couple hundred years now. So certainly have cast a large net and have a pretty big footprint in the financial industry. As a result of our merger, our footprint is Western New York with a central hub in Amherst, and then we have Rochester, Syracuse. We have about 250 advisors through that area, so we're a rather large firm. There is no shortage of things that we cannot tackle. I have yet to find a client that becomes, a client of our agency come in with an issue that we can't tackle. So that's important. It was a good question to ask, what are some of the things that you offer that people might not know? It's a laundry list. Yeah. I think that the term that I can best use to describe it is that holistic planning, which is all encompassing, meaning there's not a question you can ask us that we won't have an answer. Or, hey, you know what? I've been thinking about this, or maybe I haven't been thinking about this. So we always encourage our folks, come sit down with us. We're not going to sit there and charge you to talk to you about what's on your mind, what questions you have. And many times when we do that, whether it's a business owner or an individual, we talk about a certain issue that they may have in mind. We'll bring up, hey, did you ever think about this? Or what are you doing to approach this? Or has this factored into your thinking at all? And then we'll see just through the natural kind of conversation that, you know what, I have been thinking about that. What should I do here? I think the approach that we, take, Jennifer, that's most important is we're here to listen. And we get this question, well, why should I do business with you at Vision Financial? And my answer is always the same thing. I don't know. And it's not meant to be snarky or anything. It's a general question. I don't know if a potential client is a good fit. The only way I can know is to listen.
Right.
And I think if given the opportunity, what the approach I take is everyone and every business has a story. My job, if I'm doing it to the best of my ability and correctly, is to listen to that story. People want to tell their story. So I'm not sure on first meeting that we might be a good fit. I will only know that once I listen to their story. And, I hear, it's funny because everyone's also the hero in their own story, which is great. But as we know, heroes in their story often have challenges that they have to overcome. And if we can help overcome those challenges with each individual business's story or individual story, then we're doing our job, right? And maybe sometimes we're not a great fit. And if we're not, we'll refer them out to somebody who is.
Yeah.
But if we can help, then we will. But it all starts with listening.
You never know where a conversation is going to take you.
No.
And I love that approach to meeting with businesses, because it could lead in 5 different directions that you didn't even know, that an outcome was going to happen.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank you for having
Michael.
me again. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
I have to say, every time Michael comes to visit, not every time, but most of the time, he comes with a box of cupcakes from the Village Bake Shop.
Yeah.
There's 3 women in our office, and we're like, no, we can't eat those. Thank you. We're all on a diet. But guess they all get eaten.
They're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
They're gone. Within a second,
Yeah.
we divide them up, and that's our lunch. So
good.
Yeah, so
Good.
You definitely, when you're in Lewiston, you definitely support our local businesses, and we're so grateful for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
And thank you for the time. It was good to be here
Yeah,
again.
we're happy to have you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. If you are listening right now, please share with others. We're available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Share this information with others. It's the only way we're able to grow. And we'd love to have you as a guest on the podcast. Just call our office for more information, 716-754-9500, or shoot us an email or find us on social media. Tons of ways to get in touch with us. We hope to see you. And again, August is this week as we're taping this podcast, so the rest of the summer is flying by. Thanks for joining us again on the Support Local Everything podcast.